So Sunday fun day. Grades get posted for Amazon for the previous week at midnight on Saturday. Now this last week, I know I put in some work, but I know I crushed it. Showed up everywhere at least on time, used their app for the whole thing, didn't have any issues with any of the trips. So it should be another 100% in the books. There's no reason for me to check my grade, right? Let's get after it. So first things first, we need to define what a leg is. You're gonna book loads or tours off of their load board. And then what Amazon's gonna do is break them down into different legs. So in other words, if you have a one-way, you're checking into the first gate, spot A, you're checking into the second gate, spot B, that had 2 check-in points, that trip has 2 legs. If you're doing a round trip, checking in at A, going to B, returning back to A, that had 3 legs. So with that being said, this week in question of mine had 56 total legs. Another important thing to know is where to find your performance score. On the Relay app, there is no menu option. There's no option to click on your performance. However, on their web-based platform, you can go on there, tap the little menu at the top left-hand corner, scroll down and find performance and click on it. So the first thing I notice is my performance grade's been lowered 1.2% down to 98.8 due to a late arrival. Now, once I click on view details, that's where I can see for the first time the load in question. They're telling me that I was late arriving to Poway and that load was going to Sand 3. And this is where it's a classic example of using their technology can actually assist you in filing these disputes. So when I click on the load in question, I look at the details. I was supposed to arrive in Poway at 11:40 p.m. I was supposed to leave Poway at 12:25, and then I was supposed to arrive at Sand 3 at 1:55 a.m. Now, I don't know why the arrival time for Poway is not filled in, but I can tell you that I did depart there at 10:30. Now, I know I was using the app because if I weren't using the app, I wouldn't have been issued the trailer in Poway. So the fact that I'm leaving at 10:30 p.m. and my scheduled arrival time was supposed to be an hour and 10 minutes after that, I for sure know I arrived on time. And then I see that I checked in at Sand 3 at 11:47 with the trailer. I mean, I'm finishing the entire load 7 minutes after the whole thing's supposed to start. So, I mean, this is definitely one that I'll be disputing. All right, so after hitting the dispute tab, I'm gonna go in for a main reason and say Relay app was not working. That's also gonna be the same for my sub reason. I'm gonna check the little box that says that I use iOS. Yes, I'm part of the Apple cult. And last but not least, I'm gonna type in a brief description of why I think I'm right on this. When I'm all done, I'm gonna hit the done button and then submit. One reason I like to check these first thing on Sunday, and I would encourage you to do the same, especially if you're like me, the information in my mind isn't getting any fresher. So, you know, when I looked back on this load, it's like, oh, I remember that one. I was actually getting ready to drop one off in Poway, and I was gonna bobtail back to Otay, and they literally dropped that load off right on top of me to where it's like, wait a minute, now I can get paid the way back. It was ideal. It was like they needed one taken from where I was at, or 5 minutes away from where I was at to where I was going, and it's like, that's a no-brainer. That's one reason why I like to do them on Sundays. The other big reason is best case scenario on these, it's gonna take 48 hours to get resolved. I sent this in first thing as soon as I saw it on Sunday, and it did not get resolved until Tuesday morning. I think it was like 8 or 9 in the morning that they had put my grade back up at 100%. But you figure if it had lowered my grade down below an A, and keep in mind the cutoff for an A is 98%. So if it had lowered my grade to a B and I had lost early access, that would have been 48 hours without early access. So stay on top of these things, check your grade, and be sure, you know, when you see something like this, for sure 100% of the time file a dispute. You have nothing to lose. I hope this video serves you well. Appreciate you for watching. Take care.